Hi, my name is Billy from Sweeter Darling, and today I'm going to show you how to carve and ice a #1 cake, because I don't like number cakes and I have a sneaky suspicion that a lot of people out there also don't like number cakes. I can get on with a 0, I can get on with a number 8 at push, I'm trying to think of all the other numbers, and I don't think there are any other numbers that I enjoy doing. #1 is one of the ones that I really strongly dislike, so what better one to start with? So I thought I'd show you how I start with a square cake, carve it into a #1 shape and then ice it, and we will fight through together. So I have started with a 10-inch square here because I need quite a large cake. It will work with any size square tin, it's just the same principle the whole way through. So I'm splitting and filling my cake as normal, just levelling off the top, cutting through the middle, adding jam and buttercream and then layering them all together. Now I'm going to put a ruler across the top of my cake and measure it so that I can cut it into 3 equal sections. You might be very lucky and your cake might be exactly the right size, but if it isn't, just trim it so it makes it a bit easier for you. Mine was about 22.8 or something like that centimetres. So I've just trimmed mine down so it's 21 centimetres in either direction, and then I've trimmed it into 3 equal rectangles. Now one of those rectangles is going to go at the bottom as my flat bit across the bottom of my #1. The next rectangle is going to come up from that vertically and be the main stalk of my #1. And then the last section I'm going to cut it roughly in half but at an angle, and then that's going to lay across the top of my #1 to form my, I don't know what any of the parts of a letter are called, but to form the bit that comes down from a #1. Now later on I'm going to have to transfer my cake to an iced board. So if you're doing this the same way as what I'm doing, I've used foam board underneath so I can trim it to the exact size of my cake, because with this there's never a set size that your #1 is going to be. I just trim my cake once it's already on there. If you don't have to put it on an ice board later, then do all this bit directly onto your silver cake board. There's no issue with that at all. Because of what I'm doing it on foam board. I'm going to put my cake on there and I'm going to crumb coat it and just set it in the freezer. So I'm trimming down my board so it'll actually fit in my freezer. Once that's set, I'm going to bring it out and then I'm going to take my scalpel and get in as close to the cake as possible and just trim through the foam board. It should only take a couple of goes. It looks more awkward on camera because I'm trying to hold it up at the right angle and not cut myself at the same time, but in reality it's actually quite a bit easier than what it looks like it is here. So once you've got your board the right size, you can then crumb coat again so you've got a firmer foundation of buttercream or ganache, whatever you're using. And from there we're going to ice the cake. So if your buttercream sets up whilst you're rolling out your icing, just use a bit of water to soften it back up again, just rub some water over the cake. And then once your fondant is rolled out, you can lift it up and lay it over your cake. Now you just need to concentrate on getting the fondant on without dragging it down the sides of the cake. You don't want to tear it around the top corners, so just take your time lifting the icing up and pulling it in towards the cake as you do it. So you're lifting pleats out, but also lifting the icing in, sort of pushing it in so that you're giving yourself as much as you can to work with. If you're pulling it down and stretching it out at the same time, you're going to end up shredding it off the edges of the cake. So give yourself, it's all there, it's there ready for you to work with, just give yourself enough excess and enough room to actually work with it so it's not pulling too much. Get it on as best you can with your hands, and then you can come in and use your smoothers and you can pinch the edges to sharpen them any way you need. So you've got corners and you've got sharp bits on there, so you want to pinch those and make them as crisp as you can. So polish and buff your cake until it's nice and smooth and you've got sharp edges and you're happy that it looks nice and even, and then you can come in with your palette knife and trim away any excess bits of icing until you've got it nice and flush straight the way down to the board. So that's how to carve and ice a #1 cake from a square tin. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, there will be new videos every Monday, so please click the subscribe button below. If you have any video suggestions or questions about this video, then please put them in the comments below, because I'm very happy to answer your questions and I would love to hear your suggestions. Thanks for watching. Bye!